Just like I went to the belly dance class today to work on my back.
Am I live?
And I have been having problems. I think I just need to learn how, and maybe y'all can help.
Oh, we are live.
Learn how to close my chakras up. They just flap them and breathe, and everybody takes my energy, and I go home.
Oh, okay. I think we're live. All right. I am Marina, and this is the metaphysical discussion group that we hold once a month here over in Kings Point in Florida. Getting some things out of the way here. It's it should be able to be coming through, not backwards, I hope. What is your spiritual legacy? And this is a monograph that I had put together. And I will make this available as a PDF for anyone that would like to get a copy of it. And just a quick little plug here is my book that just came out. I'm so excited. Uncloaked, Norse Myths, Secrets, and Magic Revealed. It's a novella with 5 short stories all about the Norse myths, so you can learn about them. So you'll be all up to date and know what's going on when you see my Norse book series, Journey series, that's going to be coming out starting in April. But I have a book coming out before that too. So more about that, you can ask me about it. But right now, I am going to move my phone. This is a very informal group, so and we gather once a month, live stream when I'm in town because no one else seems to be able to do it. I was having trouble doing it for some reason. I don't know if Facebook had changed it at all. And I can't see, where I used to be able to see was, oh, there are the comments area. Okay. All right. If you have questions or anything as we go along, just put them inside there in the comment section, and I'll be reading that as we go along. I'm presenting today, so it might be a little difficult. It might take me a little bit of time to get to it. In the meantime, I'm going to take you over, unplug this, so I can take you over and around and show everybody that's here.
I think we all were grateful.
This is, we're over in Kings Point, Suncoast in Florida, so just showing everybody that's here today.
Yeah, saying our name. Hi. We have one more to go.
One more to go.
Okay.
Two.
Hi. All right. Good girl.
And see, if you were here, you'd be able to have a donut. Those, let's see, Caroline brought some donuts. Yay. Okay. So anyway, they're going around to say hi, who everybody is, where they're from. I'll move my chair over here so I can present and talk to you guys at the same time and see if you have any questions.
Oh, we do.
Oh, you do.
They're fun. Yeah, we don't show our bellies though. Everything's covered up. We're a little beyond the 20-year-olds that can do that.
She is really good.
We have fun. It's just fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, and I'm also in the hula honey too.
So just to give you a little
Thursdays at 11.
idea of what it is that we do here as I'm getting situated, is this is a discussion group. This is not a group where anyone's giving readings or anything, like that. There are no questions answered. There are no mediums. So none of that. No group session. This is a discussion group. I should look up the camera. This is a discussion group here, and we get together to discuss all kinds of things that are metaphysical, holistic, spiritual, and learn from one another. So this is a discussion and learning group, free to attend in person for people in Sun City Center, Suncoast, which is just due south of Tampa. And obviously free live for anyone on Facebook. So we don't charge for it for anybody that's here, anybody online. It is free. Come and learn and join in and ask questions too. Okay. So hopefully this is going through over on my Meeting Ike series page, because I did, yeah, okay, yeah, it's showing there. All right. So again, if I don't get to your, as I say every time, is that if I don't get to your question or your comment right away, I keep forgetting to look up to the camera. I'm looking at this. If I don't get it to right away, I will get to it. So just bear with me, have a little bit of patience, and I will relay the answer and I'll recite them out loud to everyone.
I'm
So-
Carol. I have lived here about 15 years. I
So
love it here.
tuning in
I don't care
and
for
just
Sedona, Arizona.
listening.
Sedona?
That's new to me.
Sorry for my reach, everybody,
I
but
figured New York.
again, informal meeting.
Okay, are we ready, Marina?
No,
Oh,
I am Marina Learos Naples, Carol Ann's daughter. And we spend about 6 months of the year here and the rest of the time up north, Lake Ontario. We're about a block from the lake. And it overlooks Lake Ontario, clear day, can see Toronto, all the buildings and everything. Beautiful area, small, sleepy fishing town. I have a great backyard. I have a wonderful granddaughter who visits us. We have a wonderful granddaughter who visits us frequently when we're up there. And I have a garden up there. I teach through my Meeting Ike series for children and adults now. Holding classes, guided meditations and things. I'm just going to start branching out and holding classes on my own besides where I've been holding them on outschool.com, which is for children ages 3 to 18. I teach 6 to 18. And in the first year I was with them, which was just over a year, which I had just started with them about the same time. I've had over 1,000 students taking my classes. So, yeah, so it was really great. And, but I'll be branching out doing my own. And I also put on hold because of the whole shutdown thing all over the place. I make all natural body care products using mostly organic ingredients, nothing synthetic, nothing artificial. And what I've been focusing on is writing, and I just published my first book, Uncloaked, Norse Myths, Secrets, and Magic Revealed, novella with 5 short stories teaching you about the Norse myths in a very entertaining way.
Will you autograph the book today?
I will.
How much is the book?
It is $9.99.
Okay.
And so I have another book coming up in February about a senior dog, what he went through. It was based on a true story about a dog that I ended up adopting. And it also covers additional information about shelters and legislation and stuff like that. But his story is very interesting and entertaining. So that should be out in February. And then the first book in the series that follows Uncloaked should be out in April. So I've been working on that this month also.
Wow, I'm so glad somebody's, and I'm riding on your energy.
keep in mind, she has her own garden, she cans her own food, she fishes,
I don't
there
fish.
isn't anything, well, that's the only thing you don't do.
Makes bread.
She does everything.
Yeah.
Not brain surgery, so.
I don't think she sleeps.
Yeah.
And she's doing the program today.
Yeah, I'm doing the program today. Today's program, and I'm going to hand this out after, I want to do is read it first and then hand it out after just to be able, I just think it'll turn out better that way. The title of this is What is Your Spiritual Legacy? And I'd like to go around and just real quick, in just a few short sentences is, you know, have you state what you think a spiritual legacy is. So I am not going to say what I am because it's all in this monograph that I created. I'm going to start and go clockwise. So Sally, if you wouldn't mind starting.
Well, I guess I never thought about it before, but I guess it would be what, if it's a legacy, it's what you're leaving as an impression or how you affected other people when you lived, as far as spiritual things go, you know, or how I would have to think that you want to leave a good one so that people will remember you as being a good soul and that you did good works and just being remembered that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Could you move your chair in? Carol's having trouble
seeing.
Well, I've got I can't, because I've got this here,
Oh, it's
you know,
working.
yeah. So, okay, and Vicky,
Would you like to move your chair over here?
so, yeah, you can move the chair, yeah.
Over here?
Actually, you know what, you guys, that blue cloth is only on there because of my cat, so I meant to take it off before everybody arrived. So, so I'm gonna, okay, so Vicky, if you would just a few sentences there, Sharon.
Well, from the time I was old enough to remember, I knew that I was here for a purpose and that I was being sent by a creator a lot stronger and bigger than us. And so I remember when I was about 4 years old, playing in the mud, making mud pies and saying, I know that you have a purpose for me, but you have to protect me and you have to take care of me. And so my whole life has been learning all that I can learn about metaphysics and opening my heart and accepting all the wisdom from a higher power than me to tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's
Except when I open up my mouth and get myself in trouble. And then that's the Vicky Scorpio.
Oh, don't blame it on us Scorpio stuff. Thank you. And what is?
Maria.
Maria again, yes.
And I
Gotcha,
guess I
yeah.
think of a legacy as what you leave behind after you're gone and what people think of you and what ways in which you might have changed the world, hopefully in a good way. And I think that probably ties in with whether you accomplished your purpose, whatever your purpose was. Did you discover what it was and were you
I'm
able
still
to?
doing it.
Yeah,
And I'll be back next time to do it again, by the way.
but that's what I mean, you know, did you accomplish what you were meant to do here, I guess?
Okay, thank you. And you are?
My name is Diana,
Diana.
and it's funny that you ask this. I'm going to take this, I'm sorry. Because, sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a granddaughter that I haven't seen in years, but I know that she is a sensitive. She is very sensitive. She has the red hair of the Fritchley, and she has the sensitivity of knowing. And she, when she was young, and I got to see her, I know that she was seeing spirits. I had just started learning at my age how to handle this gift. It isn't that I needed to fit in. It's how to use this to help others. So my legacy will be the book that I will write.
Aw.
And it will be called Notes to Julia.
No.
That's her name. And it will tell her how to handle before she becomes 82.
That's a good plan.
I want her to have a step up. And I want to leave her some money to help her. Because as we all know, this is a man's world when it comes to business. Men get paid more for the same job than women. And this has got to stop.
So that's something to help her. Very good.
Yes.
Great. Well, that sounds like a really good legacy. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for asking the question.
And you are?
I'm Jan.
Jan?
This is a tough question for me to answer because I'm not sure. I've never really thought about it, like you said. I agree that legacy is something you're going to leave or something that you're going to give to others to help them along the way. So I hope that I can do that through whatever medium. Maybe the dancing I'm doing is helping. Maybe that's not as spiritual, but in a way it really is because we're interpreting the music and putting it into a dance form. So I guess in that respect it is.
Thank you.
I'm Terry.
Terry.
And to me, it just means the spiritual legacy is the imprint you leave on somebody's heart.
Oh, thank you.
I think the legacy I'm leaving, or I hope, is to normalize psychic and spiritual things. Like it's just another part of who we are, and to normalize it. And also to have the two daughters that I had who, have been raised in this and therefore they're going to carry it forward, leaving their legacy too.
It's really hard for me to answer, but I think I've tried to be kind and helpful to people throughout my life to guide them into a better life. I was in a position for many years that I could help a lot of people. So, and I miss that. Okay.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, I'm Mary. I would say that being of service has been very important to me my whole life. Always, and starting as a little kid. And I still do, and I know people refer to that. And if anybody ever gets in trouble, I get the phone call, okay? And I love that part of me, okay, that I'm ready to be available. The other thing that's been very important to me my whole life is to bring things into balance. Not fix things, but just bring them into balance on a spiritual level. Been very aware of everything spiritual since I strutted down the birth canal. And but I've done this my whole life, is just bring things into balance, not fix them, but just bring them into balance through love. That's very important.
Well,
So
thank you.
that's what I hope to be.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
And to ask the question.
Okay, see a little bit of my messy table there again.
Good. It's
Close this door here.
stimulating.
Trouble with.
Can you
Okay.
say that like being inspirational?
It is.
Because that's, I said, some
It is.
people have
That's
said
who
that
you
to
are.
me.
You
that I'm
are,
an
you
ins-
are an
I inspire
instrument to
people to be good.
stimulate thought in a positive way.
Thank you,
You give that balance to people's
Thank
All
you.
right, which way?
mental states
That way.
when you're around. Yeah.
I'm going to read now, is, I showed this before, in case people who are watching hadn't seen it. This is the monograph that I put together. Again, that it's available by PDF for you guys. I have printed out copies here for people in person here. And this came about, I was thinking about people and that, come in and out of our lives, and the effect they have on us, the effect that we have on them, and some of the people that have moved on in life to different areas or different journeys in their life, and then other people who have taken their own lives, and some people who get sick and die that way. And so, and just people that we stay in contact with. And I'm not sure where it all came from, but this is the result of it, was this here, this monograph. And it starts off with, "It is said, we unconsciously influence and affect stars in our own galaxy and other galaxies from emotions we emit or radiate as we journey throughout our lives as a result from our actions and reactions to people, places, situations, things, and events all around us. Globally, many people and groups know when we consciously fuse our thoughts and emotions during prayer or meditation with intent and seal it with absolute faith, we have the ability to affect weather patterns, shift hurricane winds away from land, achieve what seems unattainable, and can heal others. Countless successful results show we have the ability to manifest that which we conceive and believe. It is from this that the notion we affect faraway stars stops being unbelievable." Now imagine how powerful we also are in affecting people, places, situations, things, and events that are closest to us, even if we are not trying to, and when we are not purposely thinking of them. Our daily interaction with others automatically manifests countless thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and reactions with every breath we take. Just as a heart, which begins beating a few weeks from conception and continues on its own until the last breath is exhaled. Our reactive emotions and perceptions, no matter if we are consciously aware of it or not, continually reinforce those impressions around the clock of those things and persons who were in and presently are in our lives. These impressions define us and create the image of how others perceive us too. When we establish an impression of other people, places, situations, things, and events, no matter through our interaction with immediate or extended family, friends, schoolmates, teachers, co-workers, neighbors, grocery or other goods store or post office clerks from some behavior, treatment, belief, and or choices made which are not in alignment with ours, we cement those impressions coupled with our emotions and thereby manifest into existence, no matter if it is distorted or not. We emit that impression out to the collective universe, also known as God, also known as the Almighty, or whatever your name is for the ultimate or universal power. And you are not alone in doing this. Others are also doing it to varying degrees. Some are emitting positive energies, some are emitting negative energies. Since we are all connected and are one, then those people, places, situations, things, and events are receiving it too. Whether on a conscious level or not, you are an integral part of who or what is being healed, or destroyed. And in that exists a revelation, if you allow it. Are you creating or are you destroying? You will need to review your perceptions and feelings in order to answer. It is not only what we do and feel consciously, but what we do and feel automatically from our emotions, thoughts, and reactions, and from our expectations. We each have our own beliefs, comfort zones, and have had hurts, disappointments, and some have fallen on hard and trying times or been violated in unimaginable ways where they could not mentally, emotionally, psychologically, or spiritually recover. We each have had great things come our way, incredible kindnesses, experienced happiness and love to varying degrees, and have had runs of good luck as well. We each have had experiences that are unique to ourselves, which in turn go on to define us and our perceptions. But back to you. When those images, beliefs, impressions, and emotions, your vibrations about people, places, situations, things, and events, reaches it or them and radiates into their vibration, is it helping and healing them, or has it found a kink in their armor, their weak spot, their vulnerable place, so it enters there to settle within them? How will it influence that person? How will your vibrations about them affect them when received? Will it cause self-doubt, self-loathing, self-hatred? We have free will, and if that person has low self-esteem, feelings of worthlessness, doubt, fear, and of being unloved or unlovable, then what might they do with the negative vibrations received? What about those places, situations, things, and events? Will your received vibrations cause it or that person become better or worse? What harm are you causing it or that person without even realizing it? Injury, violence, illness, death? But you say, wait, what about a bad person? Surely you don't expect me to feel bad for them or guilty how I feel or what I think of them. They deserve it and worse. No one ought to accept bad behavior or treatment, and neither ought anyone not answer to the rightful authorities for their actions or any infractions. But energetically speaking, what are the ramifications back to you for the vibrations you created about them? Whether done with or without conscious intent, through your feelings and impressions of the person, place, situation, thing, or event, you have created a vibration, and it will affect them, but it will also affect you, because it is yours. That manifestation of yours can influence the receiver, or they can transform it and use it for whatever he or she wills, no matter if it is positive or negative. Or if the person is strong, they may reject it altogether. Remember, energy never dies. It only transforms into something else. Free will does play a role. If it is rejected, where will that energy go? Will it come back to you? And if so, what harm could it cause you instead? Could a psychically sensitive individual, possibly an empath, unwittingly absorb it? Or maybe a passing entity will feed off it. on an energetic level, unseen to the human eye? Can it be traced back to you by another, no matter if they be in body or spirit? What are their intentions? Could someone who is a psychic vampire get a hold of that energy and want more? We are taught that we must answer for our own doings. Karmically speaking, in some manner, shape, or form, we receive back that what we do, say, and feel. Even wishing karma will pay back someone for their deeds is an ill intent on the wisher's part. They unwittingly created something for which they will have to answer to, just as the wrongdoer must. Again, I ask you, are you healing or destroying? Is it time for you to take inventory of your impressions and resulting energetic manifestations of the person, place, situation, or things in your past and present? Are you willing to change how you see and feel about it or that person? What end result do you want from it or that person? Is the vibration you hold creating a positive result and assisting that person to transform and ascend to a higher and positive vibration? And finally, are your impressions, those vibrations of your own creation, also aiding or hurting you? What legacy are you manifesting as your gift to your own soul and to the world? So you want to take one and pass it for whoever would like a copy?
I'm so glad to get a copy of this, because you would say something, and my mind would just go someplace else, and thinking about something else, and then I try to come back and catch the next thing, but I have to sit down and study it. Thank you.
Okay, good. So, I don't know if you need a little moment or if you want to share some of your thoughts or views on that, or how that fits in with your life and some of what your goals are on a spiritual level or design.
I'm very interested in hearing how everyone came to be here. I mean, if you don't mind sharing.
Came to be here today or came to be here in Kings Point?
In this group. Oh, well, I'm sure that we were magnated in some way, shape, or form. And my curiosity is, how did that happen?
Well, let's see what comes. I had brought up to my mother the idea of doing this. And then once the shutdown happened, I thought, well, we can't go over to the Sun City Center one, metaphysical group, the ones that they hold on Wednesdays. So I said, why don't we have something here? And so that actually was put aside for how many months?
A year and a half.
Yeah. And and then so then I said, when we came back last January and back in town after the holidays, I said, why don't we get this going? So we did, or we talked about it before we left and we started. I don't remember, when was the first one that we had? Was it in January?
I think in March.
In March, okay, March. All right, so we're coming up on a year anniversary in a few months or so. So that's how we started it here. And we were trying to, we had a core meeting with a few people and said, okay, when we gather, how do we want to do this? What type of group? What do we want to offer? How do we want it to be perceived and interact and everything? And where do we want to hold it? Well, there weren't many choices then. So we said, we'll just do it in the home, and whoever feels comfortable coming, they'll be there, they'll arrive. So we had a core group meeting, and we brought up brainstorming, brought up some ideas, and just played it by ear to get a feel for it once everybody showed up. What is it that you want from the meeting? What is it that you'd like to see and everything? So that's how the group formed.
Are you asking me?
You asked a question. So I was just answering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to add too that nothing happens without a reason. Even though we may be set back and upset and don't like it, it always goes around and comes around to be a positive. And that's what happened. The board at Sun City Center, CA, got together and decided that Kings Point people needed to pay for the air conditioning and the seat they were sitting on. So they closed down people coming over there unless they paid $125. We pay membership fee, so they wanted them to pay membership. So, but without that happening, Carol and Marina would have continued coming over to Sun City Center, and the people in Kings Point that are receiving so much benefit would never have that opportunity. So
There
happened the
are,
way it's supposed to.
I beg your pardon.
No, that's okay.
There are a number of women and a few men who need the same camaraderie that we're enjoying today. And they're all here in Kings Point, and I don't know how I know this. I'm just telling you. It's like whenever I was a little kid, I stood up and said, the government is going to give everybody a number, and they'll know where everybody is. No, that was a long time ago. And I'm just getting back.
That's one of the things that I was going to remember to announce, so thank you. If you know anyone in Kings Point.
Can't type sideways.
who's concerned about the group and would like to attend, why have them, contact me or my office. So we can get them on the list and notify them when the meeting is taking place. So if you know anyone, like.
And it's difficult to talk about this.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. The shift is
No,
coming. The shift is coming. If you've heard
Absolutely.
that terminology lately, it is for real, and you can feel it. Whether you realize what it is you're feeling or not, you are feeling it right now. There is things happening, and they're gonna continue happening, and you're gonna see things come to fruition. Yeah.
Since last March, Carol's had this every month. And I think there's a tremendous amount of talent as far as psychic ability and in Kings Point. I think people aren't coming because they're afraid of the COVID thing. But throughout the meetings that we've had during the summer, there's a lot of people here that have come once or twice and haven't come back because I think they're afraid of getting together.
Yeah.
That's why we offer it live on Facebook, when I'm in town here. So they can attend through Facebook, yeah.
Kings Point has a tremendous amount of people that have moved to Sun City and Kings Point because they have this ability.
I believe there are, the membership for the Metaphysical Society is, if I'm not mistaken, there's about 30 to 40 Kings Point people
People that
that we've
dropped out.
lost
Yeah.
in this so there's at least 40 that were members,
I know that on the nextdoor.com metaphysical group that I created, that there are over 40 people that belong to the metaphysical,
Right,
Kings Point
exactly.
Metaphysical Group.
That's probably.
Nextdoor.com. Pardon? Nextdoor.com.
Yeah.
I created a metaphysical group on
I know
nextdoor.com.
how to get you
Look out.
You look under groups, and there's a list of the groups, you'll see the metaphysical group listed.
Oh, I
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. And then, to be on the list for, emails, which I think you probably all were notified by email here, right? So you're already on the list. Anybody not on the list?
And that's through this group.
Through my mother's email, but yeah. So,
You need to give her your email.
Oh, you bet.
so are you not on the email
Well,
list?
how did
How did
you
you
come then?
know about?
She came to
Oh,
my
oh,
class
okay,
this
all right.
morning and-
I had heard about the group.
Diane, is this your first time coming?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
I say ma'am in respect.
Oh, doesn't bother me. I try not to have a lot of stuff bother me, except what, you know.
Well, if you know anyone in Kings Point who wants to come, like, tell them to contact me and give me their, their information, and my assistant will let them know ahead of time. She's usually sends out 2 notices. Yeah. So-
Okay.
So I'd like to ask with what you in your heartfelt spiritual legacy is, and what I've read, how does that affect, if it does at all, or how does it add to or take away from your spiritual legacy framework that you have in your mind?
I try really hard to send love. That's my thing. That's, I don't know, aside from that, what my real effort is, but that's my real effort. And it's a heartfelt one too. And so I try to radiate that to everybody. And every so often I'll find that I get into a negative state. And that.
You're human after all.
I know. And especially when I drive, I'm horrible. But anyway, I have to rein myself back in and say, you're not giving love to that person driving there. But that's personally my mission, and that's my mission.
My mission is to meet people where they are, not where I want them to be. Because I always
Yeah.
cloaked my judgmentalness with the word, I was being discerning. But actually I was being judgmental. And I know that's something I had to work on in this lifetime. And I'm still working on it.
Me
Me
too.
too. I've really focused on that over the last 2 years. I mean, I always try and pick one thing. And it's amazing how, when I focused on it, how judgmental we are, we, collective we, humanity,
Mhm.
all the time, and how entrained we become right from little children.
It's an automated response, yeah. I can get the word
Yeah,
out.
to be, and how challenging it has been to continually catch that. And yeah, driving's one of my where I lose it, so to speak, okay? I guess there needs to be a vent somewhere that's a safe environment in the car.
This is what I do.
Okay.
You know how we always say we don't have time to meditate, we don't have time to
Right.
sit and all that? Is when you're caught in traffic, well, all that kind of stuff, I look around in the other cars and see who looks like they need healing. Maybe I
Oh,
can't
great
send love,
idea.
but I can send healing. And so I'll send healing. Maybe they look, depressed or whatever. And I'll send healing. So I'm not getting angry and
Right.
mad and all
I
that
don't
kind of
want
stuff.
to.
I'm actually doing something positive.
That's a great
I
idea.
keep that whatever prayer.
Yeah.
I keep that right on my visor. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Can't
I'll
say it,
look
but I know
around
what it
and
is.
say, now remember, Mary, these are all little happy souls. They're here, they're little happy souls, they're going to their jobs that they really enjoy, or they're getting ready for, and I do, I call them little happy souls, and all the little cars. And
Like Bob
Yeah.
Ross and his little happy clouds.
it's, but whatever works, because, I mean, I've been here a while, so this whole transition of traffic in our little town and having to wait to cross streets and everything
Oh, yeah.
has been a huge challenge to, it's like, get out of my life. But I also look at that and I go, what an opportunity for patience, like, that's what I mean about continually catching myself. the more I catch myself, the more I surrender to it and it doesn't bother me as much. But I like what you're saying too, because that takes all of that
Yeah.
from being pissed off at somebody who doesn't put their
And the
blinker
time goes
on.
very fast too, then when you're sending healing.
And I want to interject there
Yes.
and to remind everyone to do the same and offer the same to your own self, because if you are not and then you chastise yourself, what energy are you sending to yourself?
Yes.
So it's, forgiving or just releasing, letting go and not doing that.
We were
And because
talking-
you're human, like I said before, you're human. It's going
Yes.
to happen where we are made with all of those emotions for a reason too. I think it's just to let out how we're feeling, but not to get caught up in that and not to have that be cemented in, like I said in the monograph, is, not cementing it in.
We were talking yesterday to a similar idea, that how important it is to pay compliments to people. It's a very simple thing to do, but it makes someone's day. And if we can all every day pay a compliment to some, no matter what, like, oh, I like your nails, or your hair looks good today. And it comes from you're not making it up. It has to come from your heart that you're telling, like, I'm always telling this one over here how beautiful she is, because she is, and I mean it from my heart. And I
The nice
hope
thing,
that makes you feel
it does,
better.
it does.
But it's important to do that.
I agree, yeah.
Somebody did one day to a cashier in front of me. She said to the cashier, "Oh, you have such a pretty smile." And these poor cashiers in Walmart or wherever you
Oh,
go,
bless their
if you
heart.
say that to a cashier every day, or say what
It
pretty
makes
hair
a
she has,
huge difference.
Huge.
wouldn't it be nice to walk out and say that to your cashier and make her feel better?
As someone who was waiting on people, like,
Or your
Yeah.
waitress or something.
it's like, anytime somebody would say something nice or complimentary to me, it was like, oh, okay, I'm on cloud nine
Changes the
now.
whole thing.
Even something saying, you're the professional, I will take I don't care what it is, it's something, it's acknowledging somebody for looking a little special or it just makes a big difference.
It's also that it just makes them feel human.
Yeah.
Because they're doing the same thing over and over and people ignore them totally and completely. So when you do some kind of, I can't think of the word, but a compliment or some kind of acknowledgement to them as a person, you see the transformation in them.
Instantly.
Yeah.
I read something, I don't know if it was on Nextdoor or where it was, but this person, when they came up to their time, for the cashier, they would act as if they were looking for candy and they couldn't decide which one was best. And then they would ask the cashier, which one do you think is the best? You know what they did?
They bought
Bought it for
They
me.
gave it to them.
What a great
That's a
idea.
nice idea.
Yes, Vicki.
Well, I just wanted to this hasn't got anything to do with personal, it's got to do with the weather. And Louise Owens, bless her heart, that used to be a member of our
I'm gonna take
society.
this over so you can see her.
Whenever there was a hurricane coming, she would make an announcement that it's coming and that at such and such a time, on such and such a day, we're all going to blow it back out into the water.
Don't laugh,
And
it
we-
worked.
Yeah, it does work.
That's
And
nice.
it worked. It worked.
Absolutely.
We're so full of hot air and
Exactly.
They were like the group in Washington that time that met and prayed, and the crime rate and everything dropped like 90% that day. And it's because of a collective, we need to be a collective
Yes.
group of one. And we need our hearts to always be open and sending love out to everyone.
They have been wondering why hurricanes have bypassed Florida.
Because we've been.
Have y'all been working on it?
Yeah, we've been doing it for years.
But you see one coming, and I think everybody gets jaded because they figure, well, it's not gonna do.
It's not hitting things.
But I think a lot of that is because we're willing them away, so by the time they come here, enough people have been saying, no, go away, no, go away. that they actually do dissipate a little bit. Maybe not totally, but.
I came down here from Zephyr Hills. And y'all know where Zephyr Hills is. Well, before I came down here, there was a hurricane. I forgot the name of it. But my cat is now 4 years old, so it was about 3.5 years ago. And she and I slept on the floor in the closet, with the door closed. And my brother kept track of the hurricane, and he's out in St. Louis. And he said, Diana, I don't understand it. It got to Zephyr Hills, and then it just dissipated.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just now remembered that. Y'all have been working for me. I appreciate that.
One of the things that I thought of with this legacy was that, there are two legacies, and you touched on it, Marina. It's like how we see ourselves, or how I see myself, is so radically different than how other people see me.
Sure.
I don't think about that until I get a feedback, and I think, oh, wow, that's interesting, both ways. So, it's like a legacy of how, what I would want to hope, people see. But then there's a personal one that I don't give a rat's butt about what anybody else thinks.
Is that you?
Personal. It is a personal legacy of how I hold myself, and it's that thing when you put it on the guilt and on
Yeah.
put something out and it comes back, and we think, or I might think it's really lousy, and do the whole self-flagellation, and then I get back feedback where none of that even existed. I mean, that was all created in my own brain. So there are these two, our humanness, which is great. We're all chose to be in these bodies and have the emotions that Marina talked about. And it would be great. Even Mother Teresa, she had a reputation for being a hard nose. Okay, it wasn't, these, saintly creatures that we aspire to are human too. So that was really, the more you talked about it, I thought, well, there are these two different legacies of how we are seen and how we see ourselves, and what is important to us that is important to me, but I don't really, I care what other people think, but it doesn't change who I am fundamentally.
Where did you
Well,
find
you're
that out about
spiritual.
Mother Teresa?
Oh, you can read about it all the time. It's not a nasty thing. She got things accomplished.
Yes.
Okay, she accomplished stuff, and it didn't mean, it was like Jesus, turning the tables in the tabernacle for the money changers. You wouldn't think that some little.
Yeah, it was okay to be angry back then, huh?
And it still is, but it's it's how it's all handled, which is probably a great conversation for another time. Okay.
Maybe where it's directed.
But I'm just saying, it's not a negative that
I
Mother
understand.
Teresa had in it. I mean, look at Martin Luther
Was
King.
a definitive strength of.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, definitive strength.
Setting boundaries. That's what
That's
you're
all.
just
I'm
asking
saying,
me.
I find it interesting, negative is energy that can be
If you have a
absorbed by
boundary issue
entities,
in everyday
evil
life,
entities.
you're gonna have a boundary
Yeah.
issue.
I never thought about that before.
They feed off of fear, and they
Yeah.
feed off of that hate, and they feed
So
off
if you
of
work
all
on
of that
the boundary,
I never
negativity.
thought about
everyday
thoughts
life,
having that kind of energy that's
It's energy.
that consumed
It's
by.
They're even saying now that they can take
Instead of
and
putting
your
in-
dreams when they record, and they can play your dream back to you.
Adjust my
So I mean, even then,
boundaries
it's all
to
energy. So, and
That's scary.
science is becoming so aware of all of this, and they're using it, but we can do it without, equipment.
That explains the way I
Just do it
felt
with ourselves,
after
being so in tune with ourselves
It was like,
and everything.
oh, get out of my way.
Yeah, but yeah, it's out there. So, and the bad
That wasn't
entities,
all that
bad
bad,
energies, or,
huh?
things like that, but they
And even
will
when people ask
instill in
personal
people the
questions,
fear, because they'll feed off of that. And the psychic vampires, they feed off of, energy and stuff. So, yeah, definitely.
I say, why would you want
I
to know
never
that?
thought about that
I
though,
don't answer.
that I might be feeding some evil entity if I,
You could, and people, the thing is, if you, whatever you send out there is energy, and people can use it, and they can transform it into something else, and they can transform it, somebody whose soul has made a commitment or whatever to dying at a certain time frame date. They can use, healing energy being sent to them to help them get to transitioning to dying to transition to spirit instead of healing the physical body. So it could be healing them on the energetic, the spiritual level, so that their next incarnations are different. But, so it's all transformable, the energy is.
I was on a radio show one night, and it was a call-in show. And inevitably, someone will say, are you a born-again Christian? And my answer is, my personal life, my financial life, my sexual life, and my spiritual life is none of your business.
Oh, I love it.
And it isn't.
That isn't.
And I don't say it nasty. I just say it like, what do they say, salt and pepper voice.
They're trying to put you in a box.
Yeah, personal.
Thank you, Carol.
Define you.
I'm sorry?
Oh, it said when they ask that question, they're trying to put you in a box.
Well, they're trying to
categorize.
Yeah.
Right? I'm learning from y'all. I just appreciate you all so much. I wish I could get so emotional.
Well,
I
somebody
had a
has
friend, a
to.
rabbi, and he used to call them the sweet tears of the soul, Diana. They're
Oh,
beautiful, okay? They're not, weepy, weepy, they're sweet tears of the soul, something's touching your heart.
Yes,
It's
that's
beautiful.
right.
There's, so just remember that.
I think we've all had that
Droplets of
experience,
light.
haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of interesting to watch someone who's just receiving this, because I believe we all have. And it's
like I can relax because y'all are saying,
Yes.
whenever I say it's difficult,
Trying to find her there.
they talk about it like it's
What do they do if
Sorry.
you talk about it?
I'm gonna go back over here so I can put them on
What do
screen.
they do?
Well, one guy, and I won't say his name, he's a friend, and I think he's a good guy. He said, Diana, don't try so hard.
That's better.
And I don't understand what he meant, but I thought he was trying to tell me to let them come to me instead of me going to them. Can you make any sense out of
You're
that?
talking about
Who's them?
men?
That, no, it's really the women. The women do
okay.
not like me,
Oh.
okay?
We like you.
Yeah.
Well,
We all have our crosses to bear.
why do you think
We don't have to be 100% of the time loved by Maria. Maria may think Vicky is kind of out there today. And next month, she may connect with me heart to heart and think I'm wonderful. So don't be offended by somebody that is rejecting you. They just don't understand.
They probably need to be looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, a mirror image.
I the good old mirror
Girls,
image.
I think beating them had something to do with it, okay?
Beating them physically? Oh, in shooting pool?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, jealousy.
Do you like?
That changes the image I had in my head.
Diana, you can't be everyone's cup of tea. That's what my daughter always says.
I can,
We can't be everyone's cup of tea.
I heard a saying one time and it stuck with me. It said you can please all of the people,
Some of the time.
some of the people, all of the time, but you can never please all of the people all the time.
That's true.
And that stuck with me.
That's true.
That goes back to what you were saying, Carol Ann, about meeting people where they are, not how I would like them to be. That's a great one to
Were you,
remember.
were you starting to say something about your niece or daughter?
No,
Oh,
just that you can't
okay.
be everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. Now, we're talking quite a bit on the local level and interacting personally. So what if we expand that out now a little bit further and doing by community and region, state, the United States? So what we're doing on the small scale, when you enlarge that, expand it out, and the effects that we have with that too, without getting into politics, without getting into religion, without getting into the medical part, topics, is that everyone knows that how not only our nation but the world, we're so divided in many different topics, and it's causing, I'm going to use my hands on the screen here, it's causing a clash coming in and causing quite a bit of problems. No, I wanted to emphasize that, is that, so how would you say, because we're not personally connected to, on a grander scale of community, some community, but not as much as a personal interaction like the grocery store clerk or anyone else, the post office person, community, region, our own nation, our own country, and then other countries. And we're so connected, social media too, so we really are out there connecting with people. And I am with work and other stuff I'm doing. I have a group on, I've got Honoring the Sacred in Hillsborough County, Honoring the Sacred in Niagara County up north, and then I have another one that has to do for religious exemptions for parents to use for their children for school. So I'm interacting with a lot of people regularly, and then with my work, and then social medias, platforms. So I'm connected with that. And quite often, I have to say, not quite often, mostly all the time, I'm not even looking at the names. I see what they comment, what they say, what they're sharing, and I'm getting the information. So I'm not, and I'm very guilty of this, of not being connected on a personal level with that person. When you go to reply, it automatically puts their name, and then you put whatever information you're doing, and that's on Facebook. But then other platforms, I'm only on a couple. But so I'm not really connecting personally with that person. I may look at their, a few people their picture, their photograph of their profile, might go to their page real quick because they something in the way that they said things really interested me, or I'm trying to figure out how it is that they think, because it's a totally different way of interpreting what everybody else is interpreting. But it's even though it's become a small world after all, it's still impersonal. So how do you see that we can make that change on the wider scale, as we are going to be more acutely aware of doing it on a local scale when we're interacting with people basically in front of us?
But when you're responding, aren't you sending energy to them?
I am responding, right.
But as they get your response, they get your energy.
Yes.
So.
And other people seeing that, and it can get convoluted because so many people reacting, they might not like what I say, and they're throwing that energy into it. How does that affect it? So there's not much you can do with that. So on a personal note, when you are doing and thinking about how is it that you say with the happy little people or souls?
Oh, happy little souls.
Happy little souls. So.
Well, it is, and they're backed up 2 miles, right?
I just had an awakening of that for Thanksgiving, because I called somebody and asked if, because I do my grateful thing, of course, during Thanksgiving, and always feel guilty that I forget to do it every single day during that time of year. But anyway, so I called somebody to see if they were going to be covered for Thanksgiving, and if they wanted, me to bring them over a doggy plate fixed up for them or what, because I was concerned that they wouldn't have anything to eat. And they said, I don't do Thanksgiving. I'm not from America. And I went, oh, Yeah, well, as an American, and I'm grateful that you're in my life, then that's why I'm
My
calling
gift?
to make sure
Give
that
you a
you're
gift?
gonna have something to eat.
Yeah.
And they had themselves covered, so I didn't do anything, but it was an aha moment for me that we are so conditioned with our environment that we forget there's other environments out there and other beliefs and other systems that we also should embrace with their right to whatever they do.
But they're living in this country.
Well, yes, they're
Why
not,
shouldn't they celebrate Thanksgiving if they're living in the United States?
well, because they weren't
She's
born
lived here
here,
a
they
long
don't
time.
live
Her
here.
kids are all born here.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, you told me already.
Okay, no names.
Okay,
No names, no politics. This
She's
was
not
just,
an American, she wasn't born in the United States, and she doesn't feel Thanksgiving is one of the holidays that she gets into, I guess.
So why wouldn't it be
And that's
okay to respect that that's the way she feels?
And I did,
And let
and
her
I,
know.
yeah, and I said, I never thought of that.
yeah, I think what Vicki was trying to say
Oh, I
was
get
it was a revelation that
No, I get that. I'm
recognizing.
just saying that, in what Pauline was saying, that it's like just, I was trained as an anthropologist, and the part of it is celebrating all our differences. You know, the bottom line of everything, gratefulness. I mean, our Thanksgiving is about gratefulness, right? So we have to have a special, we collective have to have a special day to remind us to be nice. Okay, grateful. We focus on it.
Thanksgiving.
But I'm just saying that, you know, it's just a little flag to help us all stay on track with better things. But other cultures, I grew up, my dad was in the oil business, and so it was all over the world, and he'd have clients out to the house, you know, so I grew up meeting people from all over. And I think one of the things, so we do Thanksgiving. What do you do in your country that acknowledges gratefulness and thankfulness?
Gratitude,
Do you know?
yeah.
Where all of a sudden you're sharing and you're realizing that these basic truisms like being grateful or love, everybody shares them, whether you're a Hindu or a Buddhist or a born again or a whatever.
I think one of the ways we connect, Raina, is in writing books.
Yes, amen.
Those go all over the
Say
world.
that again.
The way we connect with, you know, other people on the globe is through the books we're writing. Because I've written 2 books, she's written several. And so people all over the globe are buying these books, so that's how we're connecting.
Maybe I should publish this little thing, notes to Julia.
I'll tell you one thing about publishing a book. Get an editor, they are gods.
Sorry?
Get an editor. Get a good editor, they are gods. You do not want to do, the world cannot turn without editors on it. I'm just saying the editors are wonderful people.
They are.
They are.
Okay.
You
Where
know.
did you find one?
Well, I found one through one of the groups that I belong to on Facebook. I belong to many groups. So, but
Because I
yeah.
hear from people from Japan, Australia, you know, South America, Germany, France, because they'll say they read my book and track me down for reading or whatever. So connecting with
That's
people all over the
wonderful.
world.
That gives you an opportunity to help
One way.
Right. So that's our mission?
That's what.
Well, to offer, because some people don't want help.
Oh, yeah, some people are scared to death of it.
Yes, so saying that it's not really a mission, it's, and I would look at them kind of like an offering. And once again, energy is transformable. They can do with that energy that you send and you give and you offer whatever they want to. Like when you were saying before about at a stoplight and sending, you know, energy or healing, they could take that energy and they can transform it and they can be more angry. They can take that energy and accept it for healing. They can take that energy and manifest more ill health. So you have free will. So it's not a mission and helping people. It's not offering, it's what what my monograph was really about was what is it that we're offering? Are we offering what type of energy that we're sending out, we're radiating, that we have transfixed thoughts, emotions, interpretations of other people? What are we offering? Where are we vibrating? What are we resonating that people are picking up on?
And looking at it from another viewpoint, money is really a form of energy. So when I used to give money to someone, usually men, who are, standing on a street corner saying,
Oh, yeah.
et cetera, and I would give them money, my husband would always say, well, they're gonna go and they're gonna, drink it up. Well, that's their choice.
That's their freedom of
That's
choice.
their freedom of choice. I'm sharing what I have, it's an energy, happens to be money, and they can do what they want with it.
Well, and-
So energetically, they can do the same thing. Whatever you're sending, healing or anything. I'm sorry, Vicki. They can take that and they can send it. They can spend it on spiritual booze or whatever instead. So
But the money could eventually reach somebody else.
well, it is
But
going
it
to.
would help.
Well, if that's
Yeah,
what they
I would
want
like
do,
to
though,
think
The owner of the liquor.
It's their free will. If they want to take that energy called money and spend it on booze, that's their choice. That's their free will. I can't dictate to them that they have to buy food with it.
You have to give it with no strings attached.
What you're
So even
saying,
though-
though, is that they go to the liquor store and spend the money, but then the liquor store owner benefits from the profit he makes off the
Yes.
liquor.
Actually,
And maybe that helps
Right.
braces on his kids or something, who knows?
And it's so multi-level. There's no simple answer to that, because if you're supplying something to someone, I mean, once you become spiritually more spiritually evolved, are you going to want to be selling liquor to someone that's in that position, or do you want to do something else? So it's really it's so multi-layered there. It's a tough thing, and we can't control any of it. But what is it that we're radiating out to the world is more than what's our mission to go out and give or force to our help upon someone. Because like if I'm looking at you and I say, I don't like your purse, and I don't like people that buy that kind of purse. What's wrong with them? There's something wrong with people who buy that kind of purse. And see that purse down there? I like it though. I really do. I do like it. But and so, and it's just even what you're radiating, you're feeling. So it's that. So it's not even just purposefully going out to help someone or your purposeful mission. It's just what you are emanating naturally because of your upbringing, your beliefs, and your viewpoints and everything of how that got cemented in you.
How do we come about having all of this energy that we can emanate to others? How did this happen?
Forgive.
What do you mean? I don't understand the question.
Everybody has
creator.
energy,
Yeah.
right? And everybody's
She.
emanating.
Right.
Well, I saw on YouTube. I watch YouTube a lot. I learn a lot from YouTube.
YouTube's great.
Well, there was this guy, his name is,
Sorry, I need to get some water here.
and he was giving a lecture, and he explained
No,
how.
you're fine.
Now I forgot where we were going with it. Oh, when we were children, see if this fits, girls. When you were children, did you have to kind of hone in on what was going to happen before it happened in self-protection,
No,
self-defense?
no.
You didn't?
Some
Then
people,
you were blessed.
there are some people that have a horrid background of their childhood. And I've heard lots and lots of horror
I wouldn't
stories.
say it was horrid, but I did have to know, or I was going to get hit.
Oh, well, that's
You
horrid to
understand?
me.
That's what I mean.
That's horrid to me.
Well, yes, it was traumatic and.
It affects who you become, and you
I'm
have to
sorry,
work through all
Sally.
that
Oh, no,
crap
no,
later.
no.
But
It's called complex PTSD.
Yeah.
Yes. But I just was wondering if anybody else had that.
Lots of people.
No.
I was in a
Nobody
group,
else here.
I was in a group of 30-some people it was at a religious group, and we had this class, and everybody went around to talk about their life story and their pain.
Was it for PTSD?
Well, no, it was just a religious thing, and it was a personal growth type class.
Okay.
But there was 30-some people there, and it started over here, and it was going around the room, and the more it went around the room, the guiltier I felt.
Because you didn't have that.
Because I had no horror story to tell, because my life and my parents were rocks to me and provided love and care.
Oh, God.
And so, but when it came to me, I almost felt like going under the table because of all the other stories people have had. So the majority of the people that was in that room definitely have had grief.
Complex PTSD. I just learned what it was called.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quiet. I let other people
I
talk.
want to interject something. And that is, we're talking about helping people, sending love, doing this, doing that. And I want everyone to realize, if they don't, that when you have this new feeling of love for people, or you see somebody in need, sometimes you reach out to them in a way where you are interjecting what they are to become, or you are interjecting to them how they should be living. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the silent giving of love. I believe that that's more in healing,
With no
more
strings
than the
attached.
personal
Right, no strings
reaction of being.
You can put it out there and whatever, it's just what you were saying with the money. You
Right.
know, just, it's the same thing.
Yes,
Where
it has to come
once,
from
you
love.
know, we do what makes us feel great, and they take it and do whatever they're gonna do with it. It's not my responsibility their behavior is not my responsibility, and I don't want it to be. You know? And sometimes to keep a balance in this third dimensional plane, probably shouldn't be going, we need to have a negativity to show us that could be a very high master, or somebody who is doing something that we would judge as being abusive, but it's giving me the opportunity to realize that's not the way I want to be. Okay, so it gets, but I want to go back to Marina, if everybody's okay with this. Your whole thing about the legacy, I was fascinated with, you said the sacred in Hillsborough County, the sacred in Niagara County. What?
Honoring the sacred in Niagara County.
How are you doing that?
It's a group on Facebook. Honoring the sacred in Niagara County, which is Western New York.
Right, no, I get that.
And then honoring the sacred in Hillsborough County.
You could do it anywhere, but your whole intent is to widen this belief and draw people together with a focused intent to
Well, I started those two
be
groups.
kind or.
I'll get myself in here because I'm talking.
Thank you, Mary.
Is that I started the one group in Western New York because we spend time up there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to unify the people in Niagara County, because Erie County, which is Buffalo and the surrounding cities and towns around that, they had so much going on, so much more evolved, and they've got it together. Niagara County kind of scattered, and it's really grown. There are more people doing stuff, and they've really united more over the last handful of years. But Niagara County, there wasn't. So I wanted to bring that together, and it would encompass the holistic, metaphysical, spiritual, and sovereign.
And what?
Sovereign.
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 Great.
Sovereignty is because there are a lot of farms out there, and the people who farm, I say traditionally, which would be more organic, and then you have those that are farming using more of the more modern synthetic chemicals and stuff like that. So, and people who are having their small family gardens and farms and stuff like me, I have a garden and everything. And so, the right to farm, and that is what that is in that area. So, and being a free individual, because the way you're, the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness thing. So that was important to me to try and bring those people together with that and to showcase what was going on in and around Niagara County of practitioners, of their classes, courses, merchandise, products, and things like that, that they can be offering. So just to get the word out. And then I came down here, I thought I don't really know people down here, and I wanted to get to know people. So I started that one honoring the sacred in Hillsborough County. And that's very small. I think there's like 48 people, and you guys are just not active in that group whatsoever. Not you, but people in there, I'm not really getting responses. I'm not really getting any type of interaction with the members that belong to that. And I know Facebook suppresses things and the algorithms and everything that they do to so that they don't see it. It doesn't show up on their news feed, and I get that too. But that was the purpose of that, because I wanted to connect with people and have them be able to share what they're offering. So this, with the What's Your Spiritual Legacy, I just wrote this recently, and I guess that's really kind of the basis of what I try to offer and put out there, bringing and uniting and sharing like the work I do through my Meeting Ike series with the classes and the guided meditations and things like that. So, but those thoughts came to me and I started to write them down. So I did that one evening and just pulled that together and went back and edited it and, kind of tweaked it a bit and stuff. But as far as the two groups go, I couldn't expand and do anymore. I just do way too much as it is. And I've been thinking about downsizing some of what I do. So it's, I really need to focus. Actually, I need to plug in my computer before it dies here. So I can focus on my work aspect because it's one thing offering all of these things, but I have bills to pay. So as we all do. So, I need to be able to put that energy into what's going to bring me back monetary energy.
Complete your circle. Take your needs.
So that, I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, you planted a lot of seeds, but I think it's fascinating when we're in this world that appears to be so divisive now. And I've often thought, God, if we can't get along in our neighborhood, hello, how can we get along on the planet?
Right.
It would be wonderful to have, 2,000 years of peace. And what does that really mean? And then I even went, wow, hear about all the dysfunctional families. We can't figure out how to have respect in our families. I may not like a family member and the way they live, but it doesn't mean that I have to I can respect that they're choosing something different. How do we do it if we can't figure out how to get along when we speak the same language, we have the same economic base? So I find it like, that's a great question, Marina, is how do you take it outside? And I'm hearing that, change yourself, you change your world. Well, that's all wonderful. And maybe that's all there is to it. And we just do it by example and we get together and help each other do it. And we remind each other how to be nice. And, I have a group that we didn't realize how negative we were all the time. And there were things like kill a bird with two stones. Well, that's really a lousy thing to say. Okay. I had a little girl say, why do you want to do that? And you're going, wow. No, but you didn't, it's that thing we're talking about, being so entrained that we don't realize. And we made a whole list of things like shoot with a rifle, not a shotgun, or shoot with a shotgun, whatever. But things that really are negative, and it was like, wow, we got to be responsible for the energy we put out. There's got to be a better way to say these things. So it's bringing it all in, but with the world today and all the social media, it's like, how do we connect, Maria? That's a great question to bring it to a wider audience of how do we all, where do we meet? You know, with the difference in languages and that kind of thing to get along so that the world isn't so divisive.
Can I?
Yes, I'm done.
I grew up in a very small town in Kansas, 1,000 people, a little farming
Hopefully you can
community.
hear her.
Hardly
My
ever left
computer's
Kansas
plugged
until
in, so I
was
can't
way into my adulthood.
take it out over
And
there.
you just know that little tiny circle. And the first time I left the country was to go to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, actually. And I got there and I was like, oh my gosh, you know the saying, walking a mile in someone's shoes? To actually see how those people live so differently and their thought process and just to spend time and get to know people that live there. And we went there a lot, actually, because my other half has a condo there. So we were there a lot and we just knew a lot of people. And that was such an eye-opener for me. Then we started cruising and we started meeting waiters and, you know, people on the cruise ship from all over the world. And if you really sit and talk to them and ask questions like you were saying about what is your tradition like? What do you do? How do you feel about this? And so forth. And it was just mind-blowing to me to see how all those people from all those different countries can live on a cruise ship for months at a time and get along with each other when they don't speak the same language. They don't have the same things, but they all learn how to get along with each other. And it's like, why can't the rest of us learn that? What's so hard about learning how to get along with people? It's mind-blowing to me. But anyway. That was just me. I just thought it was really cool seeing that whole interaction.
Would you go with me to the pool room, please?
No, because they smoke in there and I can't be around
They
smoke.
don't.
They don't?
No, it's in the North Clubhouse.
Oh, that pool room. Oh, okay.
I think it's a matter of respect, you know, at some point you have to
Yeah, it
just respect and not assume that everybody
I
needs to
can't
be
get her on
as
camera
we are,
here.
you know, we don't all have to be, we can
Because
still
it's
respect
plugged
each
in.
other
I'm trying.
and like allow people to be who they are, you know.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's, no, we're talking
But
about
and maybe
that.
that's easier said than done, but I think that would be the goal,
It's a good
Yeah.
lesson to work on.
you know.
Well, I think too, you just have to step outside of who you are and try to understand who they are a little bit too.
Meet people where they are, not where you want them to be.
Exactly.
That's a great,
It's the best, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's not an easy one, I've found, at least for me.
it just feels like acceptance has gone away.
Yeah.
That, you know, just if if I don't agree with you, then your opinion doesn't count, or it's wrong.
Oh, yeah,
And you're
what's wrong
wrong.
with you?
You know, instead of, and it's, no, that's, but I'm saying that just feels the way society as a whole
Yeah,
has
that's what
become.
I was agreeing with you, sweetie.
No, I'm sorry, I do, yeah, that's just,
So
Yeah,
imposing your beliefs and your feelings on another and the same thing, you were saying the mission is
and they're
that you,
humiliated if they disagree.
and you can't impose your energy on someone else demanding they accept it in the form that you're giving it either.
Well, I think this lockdown we went through could be very beneficial because we were forced to be with our own self.
That didn't fare for a number of people.
Spending
Yeah.
all our time out in the world, keeping ourselves focused on what was going on out there, we had to dwell within because
I
we
think it
had no
taught
other
us all a
choice.
lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was
Yeah, it was
beneficial.
good.
But just in Hillsborough County, why are there so many people that don't have food? Why is there so many people that don't have a place to live?
Yes.
Just in Hillsborough County, the government has not taken over low income housing. It's disgraceful.
We can't talk about politics here. That's we don't want to get into that.
I think
Because that's just,
in
yeah.
Hillsborough County is just a drop in the bucket. It's everywhere.
I think it's everywhere.
It's not just here, it's not just Florida, it's everywhere.
But the thing is,
I mean, why do these really super rich people take all their money to
So.
another country when they could take
So what we're gonna do here, we're getting closer to ending at 3 o'clock, and I had promised to do is a from the heart world peace meditation. Yes, my dear.
No, I'm not holding up my hand, I'm trying to see you.
Oh, the sun's
Yeah,
It's a glare.
it
Oh.
glares.
okay, I'll close the door.
I know it's not your aura.
I shine.
It's shining. Thank you, I
Sure.
should have done that earlier. So do you all have the same problem?
No.
Oh,
The angle.
it's just where I'm sitting, yeah.
And if we're gonna meditate, we'll probably.
Well,
close our
maybe
eyes
maybe
anyway,
it
right?
was your aura then.
Okay, so, what we're going to do, make sure your cell phones are silent or.
I have not turned mine off.
And everyone out here in Facebook land, please join us.
Do we have a lot of people on Zoom?
We're doing Facebook Live, not Zoom. People pop in and out, so I haven't been keeping track of how many. So this is one of the classes that I had designed for offering throughout school. And I'm actually going to, turned it into where I can train teenagers and adults if they wanted in a different type of class, but teenagers to be able to learn how to do this meditation and that they can hold their own meditation circles and in their area. So, I mean, we have little groups, they call them cells, I guess, all over the place, all over the world, and everybody does this, and we can unite and do what we were talking about earlier on a local level. So everybody goes ahead and closes your eyes, probably uncross your legs, be more comfortable, and take in a nice deep breath, and just let it out to relax. And what I teach the kids, it's a little different than what my mother does, but I teach the kids is that I tell them we're going to do is take in a nice deep breath, and when we do that, what I want you to do is picture in your mind, your imagination, is that you are draining from your body all types of feelings that you don't want anymore, that maybe you've been feeling over the course of the last few days or week or so. And those are feelings of being mad or sad, scared, lonely, confused or nervous, anything like that at all. When you breathe in, you're going to picture you're draining that from your body and putting it into your great big breath. And then we're going to blow that out. And when we blow that out, we're going to picture that we are getting rid of all of those feelings, that they are leaving your body in that big breath and that they are no longer in you at all. So go ahead and now, and we're going to take in a big breath on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, big breath in, drain those feelings from your body, put them into your big breath. And now blow those feelings out and picture them leaving your body at the same time. And now go ahead and take in a nice, slow, even, deep breath. Hold it to the count of 3. And very slowly and gently, let that breath out. Will you tell your body to relax? Take in another slow, even, deep breath in. Hold that breath. And slowly let that breath out. Telling your body once again to relax. It's safe to relax now. Then take one more slow, even, deep breath in. Hold that breath. Count of 3. Slowly let that breath out. And once again, you tell your body to relax. And now we're going to relax the muscles in the body. We're going to start with the feet. And what I want you to do is go ahead and curl your toes under, tighten the muscles in your feet, and hold that a moment. And now slowly uncurl your toes, relax the muscles in your feet, wiggle your toes out to relax and loosen them back up. And now both of the legs at the same time. Go ahead and tighten the legs and the lower legs and the upper legs. And then hold that. And slowly begin to relax the muscles in both of your legs. Relax them a little bit more. We're going to move on up to the torso, which includes your lap, your tummy, your chest, and your back. So go ahead and tighten all of those muscles up, nice and tight, and hold that. And slowly begin to relax all of the muscles in your torso. Take another nice breath in and then out. As we move up to the shoulders, what I want you to do is go ahead and round your shoulders nice and tight. Tighten the muscles in your arms, your hands, make nice tight fists. This is really good because we're on the computer reading our emotions. We use those muscles and we don't realize it. Now slowly begin to uncurl your shoulders. Relax the arm muscles. Relax the muscles in your fingers and hands. And wiggle your fingers out to loosen them back up. And now what I'd like you to do is very slowly and as comfortable, only to the comfort point for yourself, is to very slowly move your head down to your shoulder, not your shoulder to your ear. Take your, you're going to go to the left side and go down over towards your shoulder. And very, very slowly bring that back up to the middle. And wait for just a moment. Now very slowly to the right side, down over to your right shoulder. And hold that. And very slowly bring that back up. And finally, what we're going to do is what I tell the kids is call it the silly face, because it looks really silly, but it works very well because it helps with the muscles around the eyes, the jaw, the mouth. And once again, our emotions, what we do there, and we don't relax all of those muscles, which for some people could cause cluster headaches, tension, clenching the jaw, grinding the teeth. So what we're going to do is, with your eyes and your mouth closed, you're going to scrunch up your eyes and scrunch up your mouth very tightly, and you're going to squish your face very tightly as you can. And then very slowly, just a little bit at a time, begin relaxing those muscles so they can ease into a relaxed state. Continue relaxing them more. Very good. And now what we're going to do is that I want you to picture above you, there's a great big, brilliant sun, and it's shining down on you. Rays are warm and gentle on your skin, and it feels good. Your body begins to absorb the sunshine, filling you up inside. And the more you absorb, the more relaxed you become. You become so full that it's shining through you now too, and overflowing the top of your head, cascading down your body, so that you too are shining just like the sun. And as you're sitting there in your chair shining like the sun, I want you to envision that the sunshine is now flowing out through your right hand toward the person to the right of you. And the person to the right of them is shining out to the person next to them. And that person goes out to the next person to their right, until everyone is connected by this universal energy. Until soon, we are one big circle of this brilliant, brilliant white light, all connected. We are all one. And it gets brighter and brighter. And now you begin to feel it in your heart area. It's activating in your heart area and begins shining out through your heart area to the center of the circle. From each one of us into the circle. And you can feel the love flowing through you from everyone in the circle and flowing out through your heart to the center of the circle. Now envision in the middle of the circle our planet and our atmosphere. And set our planet and our atmosphere in the middle where all of our energies are joining from our heart. And now this energy, this healing, loving, cleansing, kind energy begins to be absorbed by the planet and the atmosphere. Filling up our planet all the way from the core and every layer of our planet. Coming up to our crest, the air, and everything in the planet and on the planet, including all people, animals, all living beings, our trees, everything that makes up our planet. And it gets brighter and brighter. Until our whole planet and all the atmosphere is shining just like the sun, just like you. Now give a message to everything and everyone. Tell them, I love you. Thank you. And watch to see if there's any change. If there is, pay attention to what that change is. And now, in your mind, give thanks to each person in this circle for the gifts that they've given to you, of their love and their energy. Tell everyone in the circle, I love you. Thank you. And pay attention to how each person responds. What do they do? And finally, give yourself a message. Tell yourself, I love you, and thank you. And what happens when you do this? Take a deep breath. And open your eyes when you're ready. Anyone like to share what the earth or we'll start with you because we know you. Yes.
You all know everything about me, really.
You are from the heart, actually. Just one, if anyone would like to share, any way that the planet, the people, anyone responded. Or how
I just
things.
want to thank you. I want to thank you for your beautiful writing. Obviously, that's why you're becoming an author, is because of your elegant words usage. And thank you for today.
You're welcome for
Some wonderful meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
think
really.
we're all in a state of stupor.
Dinner's at 5:30.
Like we stand up before.
Do you have any recorded meditations?
I'm going to do that. I had signed up on udemy.com. I'll be uploading them there. I'll be offering them directly through me and a couple other platforms. So udemy.com is where you upload classes, courses, and people can go on 24/7. The recordings and then the worksheets and things are there. They can download. And then working toward at some point, hopefully in the next 6 months or 4 months or whatever, is to offer some live online too.
Insight Timer does that, doesn't it? Where you can.
Who?
Insight Timer. It's a meditation app.
I'm not familiar with that.
And, well, there's all types of meditations and music and sleep and for anything, for anxiety, you name it, and it's there. And you can donate to the people that write them, the ones, your favorites and stuff. It's my favorite.
Oh, okay, you have to write that down for me once before you leave, so.
And it's a free app. I mean, it's a free app, but the people, and I don't know how the people get on there or how they, how they work it. But I do know that you can donate to them. So if you do meditations and stuff, they also have classes.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. So you get it.
What's your
called?
favorite one?
Insight Timer.
Insight.
Oh, Insight?
Insight.
SIGHT?
INSIGHT. Timer. Right, and.
Timer?
Yeah.
Timer.
Time? Okay.
Timer. Yeah.
Timer. Yeah, Insight Timer. It's a, here.
Gloria Potter said, I almost gave up. This wasn't coming, so tried one more time. I can see it now. George Brochia said, can you give the Niagara County Facebook again? Sure, I will type it in right here now. Sacred.
One of my favorite things right now is on YouTube, is you just key in affirmations, and this Jason Stevenson comes up, and he has all these different I am affirmations, meditations that are awesome.
Why is it not going?
Do you do affirmations?
Do I?
There.
I do my own. Yeah. I do meditations every day, I do healing meditations. I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing metaphysical things for a long time.
I am too, yes.
55 years and counting.
Yeah, she's
I'm sorry?
been,
I said 55 years and counting.
she's been
That's
a
you?
psychic, a
Where'd that go?
professional psychic.
Yeah, it's yours today,
55
sure.
years, yeah.
No. No, I just meditate, you know.
Yes, you
what
are.
saying.
Yeah.
And,
Your gift.
affirmation.
I haven't really thought about. There's probably a lot written, and you've probably written a book about this, but I'm still gonna ask.
I have two books.
Okay.
Yeah, they're over there.
Please, just answer this one question. What made you realize that you have this gift?
I went to the psychic, you told me what psychic I was going to travel and teach other people to their abilities. I was going to work with one of my coach said that he was a scientist, turned out to be both, I was going to write a book, and I thought he was having an off day.
How old were you?
And you
29.
And you took tests. Is that
Oh,
correct?
yes, well, I was at Rosary Hill College for 8 years, being tested by scientists. Yes.
I
How
remember
can you, if you're gonna come to the next meeting, I'll.
Mary.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's a story.
Oh, there are 5 stories in there.
I read the back of it.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so this is Carol Ann's book, Our Auras and Colors, that she co-authored with Kevin Tadashi, who was the CEO of the ARE, Association for Research and Enlightenment, which is Edgar Cayce Foundation. And he was the CEO for, over 20 years or something. So, and he's popped into our lives here once or twice. So here's this one book. And this book is $15.95 from Carol Ann Learos, and it is also on Amazon and available through the ARE. It's a heritage store and also on Carol's website. And here is her second book, Unlocking Your Intuition, 7 Keys for Awakening Your Psychic Potential. So that's her second book there. And again, the same thing, Amazon through ARE and Carol Ann's website.
Is there anyone here who's
And again, here's my book here, Uncloaked Norse Myths, Secrets, and Magic Revealed, 5 short stories about the Norse myths. So,
It means I can do everything a master can do, but I can't
and this precludes my Norse Journey series that will start coming out in April next year. And before that one hits in February, Simon's Journey Home, I don't know why, they both have got Journey in the name of Simon's Journey Home, is about a dog that, a senior dog that I had adopted, and his story about being a stray and ending up over at an SPCA that had just a couple, 2-3 months before that at the most, became a non-kill shelter. And Simon was a senior dog, so he ended up just coming in under the wire there of not being destroyed, not being killed. And so I adopted him, and it's a story from his point of view about becoming lost, being on the streets, ending up at the shelter, and some other things. And there's more to the book. So that will be out in February as well. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let me see. Okay, no other comments or anything, which usually we get a lot of comments. So today, not really. But thank you for being here, everyone, and hope to see you next week. Sorry that it took me a while. They must have tweaked something in with the lives when you're doing it to a page and that. I will be sharing this. Carol Ann's her personal profile page and also her psychic intuitive page. So, and then, please share with other people if you like what you heard and everything else. Oh, the PDF. Let me try and see if I don't know if I can attach a PDF here. Let's see. I can't. If you go to my Meeting Ike series, I'll put that in there. When you type the wrong things there. I'm going to give you my Meeting Ike series Facebook page.
You understand?
And you can send me a message with your email, and I will send you the PDF of my my monograph of what is your spiritual legacy. And let me see, I'm just going to put that in there now. Yep, okay. So I can send you this. That's what I read during this month's session. Bye, everyone. Good to see you. Well, not see you. Good to be with you. Good to be connected with you. And hope to see you next month. First Thursday of every month from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock Eastern time, doing live. And ciao for now, everybody. If you end this live video now, I'll be able to choose to save it or delete it. Okay.